Hi, this is Ox King from Dragon Ball Z Kai. Can you let me on your computer there? I need to listen to This Week in Geek with Mike the Birdman and the rest of the Twig crew on ThisWeekInGeek.net.
Welcome out to Stargate TWIG, otherwise known as Tactical Weapons Integration Group, the actual play podcast right here on ThisWeekInGeek.net. I am your Gate Master, master of all the unknowns of the Stargate network. I am Mike the Birdman, but I'm not alone as I travel the Milky Way galaxy. I'm joined by our very own Unos Dr. Bob.
Alex the producer.
Who is doing his own unique Dr. Bobbing tonight. He's managed to rig a medical setup for his microphone, which we will talk about on Twig, or which we've already talked about on Twig a couple of weeks ago. By the time you hear about this, let's just say Alex is ready should he ever get hungry.
Yeah, you ever see the tech lab in the movie The Core?
Yes.
That's sort of what I was doing. That, and I had my own really crazy Doc Brown connecting the cables moment earlier on Back to the Future. Yeah, like to the point where I actually got a shock and I got scared. I forgot to mention that to you guys earlier, which you aren't supposed to get shocks plugging USB cables in.
No, that's certainly not a good thing.
Generally, that doesn't happen in most equipment.
Especially when it's not being plugged into the wall.
Yeah, yikes.
Yeah.
So, and as you can hear, we are joined by the great frozen state of New Jersey tonight.
Yes, about 8 inches, 6 inches of snow.
Yeah, because you should be getting like a nor'easter, right?
Oh, well, the northeaster's already gone.
Okay, so you got it. Oh, wow.
It was like where I live is right on the cusp of where we were either going to get 8 to 10 or 8 to 12 and then 6 to 8. Like we're always like right on the cusp of that every time something hits. So it's just like, oh wait, okay, we got the 6 to 8.
Good. All right. Well, I'm glad to hear you are safe, warm, and all tucked in. And finally, joining us from the great province of Saskatchewan, otherwise known as the Canadian stand-in for Hoth.
And JT from Saskatoon.
That's right, guys. So you may have noticed that there is a voice not with us this evening, and that is Liam. So due to some personal commitments and some scheduling issues, Liam will no longer be joining the show, at least in this current incarnation of this particular season of Stargate SG-1/TWIG. Hopefully he decides to come back in the future, but if he doesn't, that's totally okay. Stuff happens. We're always up to play different games, and maybe we can line up the schedules better next time when we play our next game, which we don't quite know what that's going to be just yet. But in the meantime, hopefully he does okay. So we soldier on, so to speak, with
what you're saying is he was called away at the last minute to another mission, and when he went through, the gate stopped transponding.
Exactly. He has lost his dial home device, and he's out there somewhere.
We'll
fighting
find him eventually.
Exactly. So when we last joined our group of Stargate people, SG-26, otherwise known as the Tactical Weapons Integration Group, you were exploring the Formi base, which has just been rocked by a giant explosion. Lights are flickering, and you can just hear alarm klaxons going off, and you just hear and feel several more deep rumbles coming from deep within the bass. Something is being said over the loudspeakers, and it's in a language you don't understand, but it sounds panicked. And then you start hearing what sounds like some kind of weapons fire in the background, and then the transmission abruptly cuts off. The clan elder you were speaking with before Cha he looks scared. If a bear could look panicked, he looks panicked. What are you guys going to do? You are, if I believe correctly, you're in the atrium, or were you in the laboratory?
We were stuck in the lab. We couldn't get the door open.
Okay.
Yeah, we were.
Okay, so you're standing outside the laboratory. And listen, everything I just said has happened. You see Cha walking down the corridor looking panicked. Like the color has drained visibly out of his kind of bare features. If there is legitimate fear in this creature's face, what do you do?
Well, seems they've come for us. Time to kick some ass, boys.
Ooh, when you see a bear that's scared, sir, I don't think it's going to be a good day. Just saying.
You got a lot to learn, rookie. and Saul just goes, armory, where? Just point.
Cha points to the wall, and there is a blue strip illuminating, and it goes down a hall. He's like, follow the blue strip. Go. So.
Don't worry. We'll try and save as many as we can.
He goes,
boys.
He goes, I will go seek the elders, and we will be in the atrium setting up some kind of a defense. It's the only place we can possibly hold. Good luck.
All right, boys. And
Double time,
I'll
sir.
just
Follow the blue strip road.
Yeah. So as you start following the blue strip road, you start seeing more of the bear soldiers kind of starting to armor up. You see more of the polar bear type creatures. You see less and less of the people that are of the other clan or the other like kind of statuses among these people. And eventually you are surrounded by soldiers. As you get further down into the facility, you start hearing just wham, wham, wham. And you start seeing blue weapon flashes coming out of hallways. You hear growls, you hear screams, some of them probably human-esque. You're not sure. You haven't seen who it is. You can guess. And then you start noticing a distinct red weapons fire that just cuts right through the walls and right through the ceiling like a continuous pulse energy blast of some type. And things just start going to hell.
How close did that beam come to hitting us, Mike?
Probably about 30, 40 feet. You could run towards it and make it like a turn, but that hallway is nothing but weapons fire flashes. You can't see down it because it only lights up for just a second or two.
And just not necessarily to Saul, Carter says, we're going to have to deal with whoever fired that, aren't we?
Probably.
Good to know.
So just as you guys you see the other Formy soldiers line up in their power armor. They've overturned tables in the weaponry. They've opened up the gun cages. They're throwing out rifles to people. One of the soldiers hands you something. And if each of you want to write this down on your sheet, I will give you the stats for it. Just give me 30 seconds to pull it up. I can remember where it is. Okay, so you get what is known as the ADS rifle. And that gives you, when I find the stat for it, because I know I have it, because I just had it, there it is. Okay, so the ADS rifle does 2d6 lightning damage.
So is this going to fit in my hands?
Yes, it's a very large rifle.
So for me, it's more like the size of an Uzi.
Probably the size of a good sized carbine. So halfway between a rifle and an SMG. Comfortable.
Yeah, so basically me for Carter, it's just gonna be like completely. It's gonna actually be legitimately an AR.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And
this
for,
also
and for those
has.
of us that are larger, it's not like my only question was like, would my hands fit with it?
Oh yeah, yeah. Surprisingly, the grips are big because of it's.
Oh, they're for
meant
bear
I mean,
people.
we're dealing with bear people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the two weapons.
Duh. Of course, we're dealing with bear people. I forgot.
Now the gun also deals an additional 1d6 lightning damage to very specific targets. Anything synthetic. So, with that, you've got these new weapons. They're like these long silver carbine weapons. They've got a weird kind of like, it almost looks like an avocado at the end. It looks like some kind of a conductor, and just it pulls energy in from the surrounding environment and then fires it out in a concentrated blast. So the for-me soldier says, use these, aim for their heads. He doesn't say what you're aiming for, but that's what he says. So he understands that, and the weapon fire abruptly stops. And everything falls silent, and the bear soldiers all kind of stop. They all kind of look at each other. What are you guys going to do? It is dead quiet. You can hear something walking.
Can we tell from what direction?
Yes, it's coming from that hallway.
Okay.
Duck for cover.
Okay.
Especially since we're down technically a member of our team.
You're down two because you haven't seen Selena either.
Yeah, we haven't seen Selena, and we haven't. Yeah, so we're basically half a team at this moment. We don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I immediately go for cover because whatever's coming is probably going to fire something big and completely massacre a bunch of people.
Carter takes cover as well.
All right, so as you all take cover, one of the bear soldiers kind of moves up. He breaks what looks like a flare, throws it down the hallway, and you see what probably looks to be about 20 Jaffa Tiger guards and somebody coming up in the rear. You can't quite make out all their features just yet, but you look at the Jaffa Tiger guards, their armor is different than the ones you saw outside. These guys are almost encased in a full bodysuit, and you see these red glowing eyes. The armor seems black and bronze with stripes of red across it. And they're holding, some of them are holding staff weapons, some of them are holding Zat guns, and some of them are holding weapons you've never seen before. And then as the bear soldier throws the flare down, it bounces off one of the tiger guard's armor. Tiger guard looks at the bear creature scurries back, behind cover, starts. Actually, everybody give me a I think it's a wisdom check.
Wisdom check.
I've never done this before, so someone's probably going to call me on this. But you're basically doing a saving throw against fear right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be...
Would that be Constitution?
That would be Constitution.
Yeah, Constitution, yeah. Sorry, I haven't done saving throws against fear very often in my games, so everybody give me a Constitution saving throw.
Come on,
right.
baby. That's a 12, Mike.
Okay.
That is a 16.
Okay.
21, because I have super high Constitution.
Okay, so Carter,
Dr. Bob ain't scared as shit.
You're
Dr.
a little
Bob, the big lizard man.
So you're a little shaken up, Carter, because you've already faced these things and it hasn't worked out too well for you.
Okay.
Saul, your resolve's a little bit better, but considering what just happened, you're a little bit, oh God. And Dr. Bob, you're like, this isn't right, but someone has to remain in control. Somebody's got to remain calm.
Okay, before we move forward,
not to mention, I turned to my teammates, or Dr. Bob turns and says, well, they're all in one place.
That's kind of them, Carter says. Just a quick question, Mike. Because these lightning guns were built for the bear folk,
the ones you have are built for human hands.
Oh, okay. So I wasn't sure. I thought it was all just one scale size.
No, the armorer did have these made.
Okay, cool.
Because there are other Tari that these people have allied with since they knew who you were.
Yeah. So yeah, Carter, when Bob says what he says, Carter looks at him and is like, that was awful considerate of him. And Carter just lines up a shot and waits for Saul to tell him to let fly.
All right. So as you hear this, the lights in the room come up to a half dimness. You can see things in low light, basically. Think of it as emergency lighting, but it's not all quite there. The bear soldiers all kind of tense up and freeze, almost as if they're holding their breath. And the tiger guards come into the room, and they spread each by the door, single file, 10 on each side. And then you see what was behind them. And you see this woman, human woman, that you can tell she looks like she's maybe of Indian descent. Not Indian like me because I'm native, but Indian as in from India. And she's dressed in this elaborate headdress, but you also see like skulls hanging off of her that look human. You see ornate gold and red kind of drapings of her. And everybody roll me a perception check.
Okie dokie.
So she looks like an East Indian by way of Mexican Day of the Dead kind of get up.
Kind of.
I've.
Who got the highest here?
I got 5.
Yeah.
17.
4.
Okay. So Saul, you notice as this woman enters the room, definitely in charge of these guys for sure. You notice a Guald hand device as well.
Oh boy.
We got a snakehead, sir.
You also notice she's dragging something behind her. And as she enters the room, she throws out a set of power armor. What's left of it. It's crushed. It looks very, very heavily damaged. And inside is what's left of Selena. She's not dead, but she is horribly mangled.
Ugh.
And then one of the tiger guards motions to her, and this woman goes, I believe this belongs to the Offworlders. And she throws out Oringo on his knees, cuffed by some kind of an energy harness or manacle on his arms and feet. He's beaten, he's bloody, he's bleeding whatever the Unas bleed, and he's not healing. Like, he is covered in cuts, bruises. You can see a bone sticking out of one arm. And she looks directly at you three. Offworlders. Leave, I will take what I want and spare your lives. Stay, and your friend dies here and now. Make your choice. You have to the count of 3. 1. 2.
Rolling persuasion.
Okay.
That is a 21 on persuasion.
Okay, persuade me. We are going to role play this out rather than use the in-game system for it, because I think it presents a more interesting opportunity. You address me. What species are you?
I am of the Karn, a race that frankly your people have already enslaved, and I'm not going to say that we aren't mutually antagonistic, but given the situation, I think a little parlaying should be in order.
I do not recognize your species from my time, but that is of no concern. What you have to offer me in exchange for this one's life. I seek what these creatures have. Bring me the gatherer, and he lives. Don't, and everyone in this facility dies.
I think we have no... first of all, you need to be a little more specific. Gatherer is a very loose enough term that, frankly, I don't understand.
The bear creatures goes, "You are not taking that." They all start shouting at her, pointing their weapons. The tiger guards are not afraid.
Stop.
The bear creatures lower their weapons because you had rolled so well. They're letting you speak for them. We seek the intelligence that controls the infrastructure of this planet. Bring it to me. Me and my people shall depart. I will give you 5 minutes.
Fair. Saul goes back to his crew and goes, "We might need to talk to the elders here, because this is getting deeper and deeperly fishy as it has gone on, and I have a feeling they have the answers, and they weren't being as truthful as we thought they were."
I'm starting to think the same thing as... Didn't she say something about her time?
Indeed.
She did.
Carter's just looking at Selena and Ringo and keeping an eye on them while
looking
Bob
at
and...
Selena, she is starting, like, you can see her armor looks like it was crushed, like in the middle, like inside there, she's got massive internal injuries. She will die unless she gets to help soon. She's probably about 15 feet away from you, and you get the impression you make one move forward, there's a line in the sand, they will open fire.
Okay, because so I can't just walk over as the medic.
You can try what Saul did and parlay with them, because she does recognize your race.
Okay, let's do that. Because
Okay.
So I look over and say, "Is it I don't know, creature?" What is your should I... Oh boy, I'm thinking here. I'm meta thinking. Should I even ask the name? Just stand up. Excuse me.
She looks at you.
I was wondering. I am the... Should I roll for it, or what should I roll for something, or
roll me your persuasion, and let's see how you do, because we are going to role play this out if you get it high enough.
All right. 17.
Okay, role play it out. What do you want to say?
Okay. I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm the medic of our group, and I can see that one of your prisoners is gravely ill and probably won't survive the 5 minutes or the discussions that we're going to have, or the time it would take to get you this so-called gatherer. Would I be allowed to just administer basic first aid and see if we can prolong that person's life? Otherwise, you lose any advantage you have over top of us.
She looks. You may take the Tari, but the Unas stays here.
Okay. So I'm going to...
The guards have all trained their staff weapons on you.
All right. I'm going to hand over my weapon to Saul.
Okay.
Just to show that I'm unarmed, and I walk up and go to grab.
All right. So you see Selena. She is bad. You've never seen somebody this bad outside of a car wreck.
Okay. So, Selena, where does it hurt?
She's not even conscious.
I'm going to take that as an everywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take that as yes. So Selena's not dead.
No, very badly hurt.
Very badly hurt. So I'm going to. So I don't need to use a crash training. I'm going to use a first aid kit.
Okay, how do you intend to get her out of the crushed power armor? You
I'm gonna
need
just-
virtually the jaws of life.
I don't want to rip her necessarily out of that if that's what's holding her together.
Yeah, that's true. Good thinking.
So I am I'm going to do a cursory check of the integrity of her suit and what's crushed and what isn't.
What's crushed is most of her organs in her, like, she doesn't have a collapsed lung as far as you can tell. She's still breathing, if shallow, might have some internal injuries.
So broken ribs and everything.
Yeah, broken and crushed ribs, maybe a punctured organ or there. She definitely will need surgery.
And I can't move her because they might attack me if I move her.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to administer a first aid kit.
Yeah, you could give her morphine.
Yeah, it doesn't tell you what's in the kit other than it's like
it's
a pack of everything you'd need for emergency field.
Yeah, I'll say equivalent. You have experimental medical alien technology that will stabilize most humanoid species until they can get to a more species-specific medical bay.
So basically, I can stabilize her
temporarily,
pulse, and I can also administer a painkiller and some basically so she won't crash.
In game terms, she will not have to make a death saving throw for 1 hour of in-game time.
Okay, so I'm going to administer that kit. It's not like a tricord. I figure it's like I rub some gel on her and
yeah, basically you rub the equivalent of Mass Effect Metagel on her
and open her mouth, give her a squirt of some sort of aerosol spray.
Yeah, so you make sure that her airway's clear. You administer this gel; it absorbs into her skin almost instantaneously.
And I adjust her position on the ground to take pressure off her spine.
Yeah, so she is breathing a little more easy, but still very, very, very shallow, and the blood coming out of her mouth is slowed considerably. So she is stable in game terms as of right now.
Slap a couple Band-Aids on, call it a day, and I walk back.
Hey, Mike.
Okay. Yes.
16 insight check. What's the mood of the bear folk right now?
They're scared. You get the feeling they've seen this person before. They know what she can do. You get the feeling of just they're waiting for an excuse to shoot because you're in such an enclosed space. But that's a problem too. You're in such an enclosed space and you don't know what their weapons do. Is there splash damage? You get the feeling you are at the Battle of Little Bighorn and somebody's outnumbered here.
Okay.
That's the impression you get.
19 perception. Do any of them look like they got some twitchy trigger paws?
More than a few.
Okay.
Most of the people are in the civilian cast.
One of us has to stay here and make sure they don't shoot each other.
I'll stay.
Okay,
good.
So Dr. Bob stays behind.
I'm also the one that, yes, I'm a target in between everybody, but I'm the one that can most likely take more hits if somebody gets trigger happy.
Yeah.
All right, so Carter and Saul, you go off to find Cha and the Elder Council. Yep. And where are you guys going? You're going to go back to
the atrium?
Okay, so you run back to the atrium. You can see like places have been flipped over. There's been defensive positions. There are snipers everywhere. And there's a lot of scared women and children. And the elders are being protected in a central bubble. Almost like a bubble shield you'd see like at a Halo. It's like an energy shield that's protecting them alone.
Okay.
And there are 5 of them.
So I just rolled a 23 on intimidation.
Okay.
And I waltz into the atrium and go, okay, you gotta be straight with us at this point, because now 2 of my team members are badly injured. One is on the chopping block right now, and we need to figure out what the frick you stole from them.
We did not steal anything.
Then what do they want?
One of the elders, the polar bear elder, You can tell he's a little bit older because he's got more gray in his fur. He steps out. We did not steal anything. It is our right. It is our birthright.
That may be, but at the same time, they think that they have it, and you think you should have it. Frankly, right now, my team is on the line, and I don't give a damn who thinks they should have it. Right now, I'm stuck in a rock and a hard place because you weren't truthful to us, and now you've put me in a terrible friggin' situation.
Hey, Mike, 22 in intimidation for Carter to step forward, point the lightning gun at the polar bear, and says, "Look, it's simple. You tell us exactly what this gather is right now, or you're going to be breathing out another hole in your head."
You say that. You manage to get your weapon up before the snipers can train their weapons on you. So you have the edge here. The polar bear elder says, "We can't give it to them. If we give it to them, the system dies."
Not what I asked. What is the gatherer? Why do they want it?
Because it controls everything.
Define everything.
It controls everything in the solar system. It controls every process on this planet. It controls everything. It is the planet. It is the infrastructure. It is the planetary intelligence that gave us life.
You have a galactic scale computer intelligence under your control, and you're scared of these people?
The bear doesn't say anything and goes, "Yes." Because they control it now. They control the sphere.
Carter's still just staring at him dead, like in the back of his head. He's like, "I just stepped to a talking polar bear and pulled a gun on him. What the hell do I do now?"
They will if we don't defend it, they will take it. And if they take it, then we have to use the sphere. And then we all die. But they can't have it. It is ours.
Carter relaxes the gun, takes a step back, and looks at Saul. He's like, "Sir, this is a Kobayashi Maru if there ever was one."
Damn straight.
2 minutes have elapsed.
God, how can we play this off that they think we're going to give it to them, but is there any way to fake giving it to them?
How good is your engineering?
The polar bear speaks up. We might have a solution, but it's not one that we want to do. We take it off world.
We're running out of options.
We take it off world and we run. And we run now. You leave your people behind and we run. If they get a hold of it, it's over for everyone.
That is not an option here.
You don't understand. You don't understand, Tari. If they get it, if she gets it, it's over. The gatherer cannot meet the prophet. The prophet cannot meet the others.
Are we talking system-wide destruction here?
Probably worse. They already possess one of them from what we can tell. The gatherer told us someone would have it. And when the three are brought together, they will have the solution. They already possess the strategist, we think, but we are not sure. That is how they cut us down so quickly.
So, is there a way to fake give them this item? Something that will fool them for a little bit while we all escape off-world.
Maybe. One of the elders looks back. One of the brown looks back at one of the pandas. The panda looks a little bit panicked and says, if you give me 30 cycles, maybe maybe. But we have to run.
30 cycles is not enough time right now. So can we jerry-rig something real frickin' fast?
The bear nods, shakes his head, goes, no, it's integrated into everything. We'd have to disconnect it from every biological process, every weather system, every computer system, every bit of infrastructure we have. And then the sphere is then open to fire whenever they want. The sphere is the only reason they haven't destroyed this world. But even the Gatherer won't even let us fire it.
Can't barter for more time. We can't disconnect this thing without destroying all the life in the galaxy. I just had to become a soldier. Is there any way to create something that's just big, shiny, smoke and mirrors, my friends? We just have to fake it.
We could give them an aspect of it, not the whole thing. They get something that they want. That's possible.
Would it be enough to fool them long enough to get everyone gone from this planet?
I can't promise you that.
I'm not asking for.
We got no other options right now.
Give me 10 cycles. I can do something. Let me get down to the engineering level if they haven't taken that already.
Carter looks at Saul. Sir, let's go back. Maybe we can say, look, 15 minutes tops and it's yours. We just need to buy more time. That's our only play right now.
It is.
All right.
Do it. We'll be back here. We'll be back here in time.
All right. So the elder brown bear takes off running. He takes off with a couple of red pandas and they're gone. So you come back to the barracks area. You see Selena has been somewhat stabilized. Ringo's not looking real good. The woman looks at you. What news do you bring, lower beings? Do you have what I wish?
Ken, what's your persuasion modifier?
My persuasion modifier is... Let me double check. It is 2.
Okay, good. I have 3.
Go ahead.
So let me roll here quick. Okay, that's a 13 on persuasion, Mike, for Carter to step forward and parley with the leader.
You can try.
Okay. Carter sets his gun down on the floor, holds both hands up, and takes 3 steps forward so he's next to Dr. Bob and Selena. He says, may I have the audacity to ask you how we should address you, my lady?
You may call me, your people have called me Charmunda, and I've been this since time immaterial.
It is a supreme honor to meet you. We can give you what you want. It will take some time. It is not, as we say on my planet, plug and play. It will take 15 minutes, if as my people tell time, to get you what you want. We beg your indulgence that you give us this grace so we can give you what you desire.
She kind of strokes her hand against her chin. A sly smile passes her face. She looks at Oringo. You wish 15 of your minutes, correct? She looks at Dr. Bob dead in the eyes. Her eyes flash that Gual that the symbiont is definitely speaking.
Yeah.
How many digits do you possess, Unas?
I actually don't know.
I think you have 3.
I was going to say, I'm thinking back to the episode or 2 where we actually saw them.
Mm-hmm.
Is it 3? It's either
3
3
or 5.
4.
Yeah.
It's not a full hand.
Yeah.
I think it's probably 3.
Okay, so we'll say 3.
Okay, so canonically, I have 3 on each hand.
So that's 6 total.
Yes.
So
I'm not going to mention feet.
You possess 6, correct?
Yes.
She looks at one of her tiger guards, cuts off one of Oringo's fingers. I will take one every minute until I have what I want. After that, it is his head. Do I make myself clear?
Perfectly.
And I'm standing there just mouth agape, like, I can't medkit that.
Now you will tell me what I want to know. She looks around the room. I know these people, but I do not know you. Why do you serve these things? You serve under us and always did. When did you break free, slave?
Oh, are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking. Yeah. She is talking to you.
Okay, you're talking to me. Oh, okay, fair enough.
I was like, what's Carter going to say?
I was like thinking about it for a sec.
Tried it for a bit, didn't care for it, tore it out.
She goes, many have tried that. They are all
Yeah,
dead.
well, I'm not many.
I appreciate your bravery. Foolhardy, but I appreciate it. And you, as a creature of medicine, maybe you can fix your friend should he survive. So here we wait until your friend comes back, and then me and my guards slaughter you, and I take what I want anyway. But I am a woman of my word. I will let you have your time. But as I said, I want information. You will answer my questions now. What year is this? In your Tari years.
I was going to say, that could be very different depending on who you ask.
Well, according to our calendar, my lady, it is the year, what did we say, it was 2003 or 2004?
Season 6, so...
03?
04? 03, 04, somewhere in there.
Yeah. It is the year 2003 AD.
Tell me, what of the other system lords? Ra, Apophis, Anubis. Where are they? Where do they hide?
Don't know where Ra is. And I swear this is the truth. The Tauri have not encountered Ra. Apophis...
Well, they did. That's the movie.
First movie, yeah. So first movie happened, yeah.
Yeah, Raw dead. Rod real dead.
Carter's not going to tell her that because he's going to get dead real quick.
Well, I guess okay, yeah, metagaming, but smart move, seeing as Raw was the leader of all of them. So maybe haven't seen Raw. No, nobody's seen Raw. Raw definitely didn't blow up in a pyramid.
And we definitely haven't met Anubis yet. Nora, have we met
Anubis is in 6th season. He's like the big bad, right?
Anubis is in...
He's more background until towards the end of the 6th season. So I don't think we've met him yet.
I think he appears in season 4 or 5.
Maybe the once.
It was when they had the gathering of all of the... Like all the system lords were gathering to decide who's going to be a new leader, and in the power gap, that's when Anubis was coming back. But I don't think Anubis was named until season 5 or 6.
Yeah, and they had that girlfriend of Daniel Jackson who was possessed by a Gould.
Yeah. And Anubis is basically season 6 and 7.
Okay, perfect.
And then and part of 8 and 9 and 10 is the Ori plot. So that's way beyond the scope of what we're doing.
So she says these 3, all those names. How much information are you going to give her? Because she seems really out of the loop.
Well, and Carter, it's not a lie if Carter says he hasn't met any of them, because he hasn't.
I'm I'm going to start laughing, and just laugh, and say, well, I guess should I mention some of what were the names that you mentioned? It was just the main ones, right?
Yeah, the main system lords. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't need to mention like all the other ones that have been killed. I'm trying to think at this point who of the system lords is dead.
Maybe
I mean,
Kronos.
obviously, but we're not going to do that.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess at least I forget if he comes back anymore beyond this, but I'm pretty sure Apophis is canonically dead at the end of season 5.
Yeah, because I think he gets his ship thrown out of hyperspace and then blows up.
And then I forget if he comes. Doesn't he come? Oh well, yeah, Mike. He comes.
I mean,
back.
like
we cannot. At this point,
as far as we know.
Yeah. I was gonna say. Well, I can tell you one thing. Apophis is dead. And just stare straight into her eyes.
Did he die like the coward he was?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, pretty much. Same with you and Harrower and there's a bunch of other ones. I can't count them on all my fingers. All 6 of my fingers.
She throws her head back, lets out a real deep fucking laugh, and to the point where it sounds weirder than the Guald voice.
So
you
basically,
all notice that.
I'm laughing. She starts laughing, and I get real quiet.
Yeah, she's like, "Good. I'm glad to hear that. It'll make things so much easier." Okay.
And I'm going to give a quick stare at the rest of the team and go,
oh shit.
I just a very slow, like, oh fuck. I wasn't expecting that.
Do we see a look of fear in Dr. Bob's face?
As much as a lizard face can show it.
Those fools did not know the power of what we can accomplish. They were afraid to go to the dark spaces, the places the Stargates didn't want us to go to. But I did. I took my armies and I took what I wanted. And I found something wonderful, beautiful, and it's everywhere. And nobody knows about it, except these people. But they haven't told you everything, have they?
They haven't told me anything. I haven't been around.
They're as vague as you would expect.
So what they haven't told you is they have a planet-killing super weapon surrounding their sun right now. And if they've, let me guess, they've already told you that it controls their planet, it controls everything. Correct?
That's
Just
as much
about.
as we've been told.
The sphere is how these things control their space, through fear. I will take what I want and add it to my own armies. I seek the gatherer to seek perfection. And I will destroy any Guald outliers and their allies to do it. You've saved me some trouble. I will ascend higher than Anubis. I am death on every conceivable level. As she says this, another finger gets cut off of a Ringo. Screams in utter agony.
Mm-hmm.
Your time is running out. So, we're going to play a little game here because I'm sick of waiting. And I'm going to drop one of my personal energy shields. And I'm going to let everybody in this room try and take me and my tiger guards down. I give you 1 minute. Do you accept my challenge? Or give me what I want and I leave now? How do you like your odds? because I've survived for thousands of years, crushed millions beneath my heel. You will be no different.
I'm going to roll a perception here.
Yep.
That is a natural 20.
All right. What do you want to do? You roll with advantage on whatever you want to do next.
So, the ceiling. How unstable is it right now?
Pretty rough. Pretty rough looking.
Would you say, how many shots would it take to collapse it?
Well, you don't know what the clip capacity is in these things, but if you unloaded at it and threw a couple of grenades, it'd probably go.
Keep in mind that you have my gun as well.
Yeah.
You can dual wield.
Akimbo, motherfucker.
And I am right beside Selena. So Dr. Bob is flashing you the I can grab her and get the fuck out if we need to. I mean, I can't grab both, but I can grab her.
I give Bob the wink, confirming exactly what he's thinking. And I'm firing my lasers.
All right, so you start blasting the ceiling. I'm not even going to make you roll damage.
Yeah.
Cinematic right here. So you start shooting fire at the ceiling. All the bears kind of exchange a look, and
WTF.
then they look at you. They're like, "Oh!" And then they start firing, and you manage to catch them just enough off guard that it creates a big wall of rubble between you, Charmunda, and Selena. But okay, one of you has to roll this. One of you can roll with advantage, that being Saul here. High or low on a D20. Can you save Oringo? High or low?
All right.
Only one of you can take the risk.
I'm the only one that could carry him.
Yeah.
So I'm going to.
But you're taking care of Selena.
I can toss Selena.
I mean, technically, yeah, you can toss her to me and then grab a Ringo,
or even friggin' slide her across the ground because she doesn't. Even with the exosuit that's been warped, she's not in the full suit anymore, and I could just slide her across the ground.
Yeah, exactly, perfectly fine.
But lifting an Unas that weighs like 900 pounds is a different story. So I'm gonna roll high.
Okay, roll a D20, and we'll see what happens. Decisions.
I have 5.
Okay, so as the ceiling collapses, you see Oringo's eyes go wide, and you just see Charmunda just as the ceiling totally collapses, and you can see her whisper, "How disappointing," and cuts off his head. It rolls at your feet.
Oh shit! All right, I'm grabbing Selena and the head and booking it towards you guys.
Yeah, you hear Charmunda from the other side of the wall. Kill all of them!
And I'm saying I grabbed the head because, for all we know, there's
the bears
probably some burial.
Open fire.
Oh, it is lit up in there like the Terminator Future War. It is lasers galore.
Carter runs back, grabs his gun, and dives for cover and starts firing.
All right. So, what are you guys going to do? You can enter combat with the Tiger Guards and Charmunda. You can run, unless you've got another plan. You can go help the engineers.
We need to run and help with the engineers because there is we'll let the bears take care of this. We're trying to solve this issue.
I'm grabbing. So I've got Oringo's head because I guess burial rites. I got to do something. And Selena, I'm doing it C-3PO style where I'm strapped her to my back, like when Chewie had to strap him on, because
Chewbacca this shit.
Yeah, basically, because I pack muling her like a backpack, because I mean it's not necessarily the safest thing to do, but leaving her on the ground is probably less safe. And I need to have my hands free so I can at least, not just take damage. So I strapped her my back with a rope, and I'm saying, "Gun!" I'm yelling for my gun.
Toss him his gun.
All right, so you grab your ADS rifle and you start booking it down the hallway towards the laboratories. One of the bears runs into you and hands you what looks like a sphere with a glowing blue kind of orb in the top of it. And he says, "This is the essence of the Gatherer. It is everything that we can spare. The planet will survive for at least a little while. You need to get this off world. And I can't tell the others. I have to go with you."
Carter looks at Bob. "Give me the crystal."
All right, so he hands you this thing. It's about the size of like a softball.
Mm-hmm.
And it reacts to your touch.
Oh, that's right, because I'm part Borg now.
It flashes red for just a second.
So do we have the gate crystal?
You have it, yes.
That's right. I still have the gate crystal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like Carter's like, "Look, you're dealing with Selena and Oringo." There's a noticeable gulp when he looks at Oringo's head in Bob's hands. And he's like, "You got enough to deal with. Give me the crystal. I'll install it. We got a GTFO."
Fine.
All right. Yep.
All right, so you guys are just going to run out of the base?
Yeah.
All right.
Running as fast as a lizard carrying a half-dead body and a severed head can run.
And a human being experiencing...
We're taking this bear with us, obviously.
All right, so...
What species of bear is this one?
This one is an elder, probably a civilian, so more of the brown bear type.
Okay.
So this person goes with you. You run through the atrium. The elders look confused. Everyone's like, "What's going on?" And then behind you, it's a slaughter. Gunfire starts going off. The snipers get taken out almost immediately. That red laser emits from the hand device and just cuts. Like, do you remember in Iron Man 2 when he uses that laser to cut through things?
Yeah.
That's what
it's a one-off.
He does it once there, and I think he does it once again, and he's like, "Yeah, we can't use that anymore."
Yeah. So she looks...
Can't do it again, Disney.
Yeah. So she walked into the room and just cuts down everything. The bubble shield takes a few poundings from their staff weapons and Zat guns, but once the red laser out of her hand device hits it, it melts.
Oh, we're running. So
you book it out there. You run through the big airlock doors. You're outside in the snow. The blizzard has really kind of kicked up. You almost can't see in front of your face. And how do you get back to the gate? Do you remember which way you took? And that's where we're going to leave this week's episode.
Whew, boy.
Can you find your way back to the gates and potentially head off Chermunda's forces before they intercept you? So all these questions and more on the next episode of Stargate SG-1 Tactical Weapons Integration Group. I have been your gate master and probably sadist for this episode, Mike the Birdman. I'm joined from the great land of Kitchener.
Alex playing Dr. Bob.
And from New Jersey and this anime podcast,
Ken playing Saul.
And of course, my good friend JT, host of the Twig Sunday Funnies.
Yeah, JT from Saskatoon playing Lieutenant Carter Hall, who's probably got a whole heap in help of PTSD now.
Good time. So until next time, folks, lock chevrons.
Tilk, it's good to see you well.
In my culture, I would be well within my rights to dismember you.